Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Jeanne, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci. Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
As Gen slips out of consciousness and onto the sands of the marketplace, Sueno is able to catch her fall and hold her up, but clearly something is not right with her lady, and she is surrounded by strangers and foreigners in a strange land who she has taken great pains to pick up their speech and to understand them. Is still struggling behind her lady and in their language, and is a bit overwhelmed at this point. With Gen unconscious, let's have you switch over to Sueno for a moment. How is Sueno going to get Gen back to the Emir's estate?
Sueno is going to basically pick her right up, pick her up in her arms, and carry her. She is not large,
So small and lithe as it were, yeah.
and she might have to rest a few times on the way, but she is not going to drop. Again, she'll just rest when she needs to and make her way back to the palace, because she does not know anybody here or recognize anything that looks like a doctor, and she is going to take her to Ricci because she knows that Ricci is a doctor.
Right, exactly. Like even in her panic, at least the one thing that we know about Ricci is, hey, yeah, he is a trained medic. Why don't you go ahead and give me a TN1 fitness test for Sueno?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, and she has one martial to Earth, and let's see if this works. Okay, 2 successes and 1 opportunity and 1 strife on her fitness Earth check. The strife is obviously her concern about the situation as it is going on. She would like to go ahead and use the opportunity to basically, I'm going to use doing a movement action. This is kind of movement. Ignore the terrain quality of her choice. This is a very crowded marketplace, and she does not want to bang again into people or anything else. She's trying to avoid
you're
the
not
people.
bouncing her off of the stalls or any of the buildings or the people involved. Absolutely, I like that. Yeah, getting rid of the crowded or congested or whatever terrain quality.
Entangling terrain, I believe it's called.
Right,
But
entangling is the correct term that they use. But yeah, I really like that. That's great. All right, so you're able to uh, get your lady back to the Caliph's palace and into the Emir's estate there. And yeah, how does Sueno come rushing in? How does she find Ricci?
she is going to set Gen on the bed, on Gen's own bed, and then she is going to go out immediately and look for Ricci first in his rooms.
So yeah, I think in the amount of time that it would take you to go out and accomplish the mission you were working on, and then make your way back through the city, that by this time Ricci has returned home and is with Hayate, and is just they're still having a great time. They're laughing about how much money they took off the soldiers there with the bet, and how wonderful it was to see the horse cresting the dunes ahead of the camels during the race, and then all of a sudden they find a frantic Sueno coming in the middle of their celebration.
So Sueno bursts in. She's still wearing her dark plain clothing. She has her eye patch, but her hair is in disarray, and she bows deeply to Ricci and Hayate, but mostly to Ricci, and says, Akoyo-sama, please, Gen was hurt in some way. I do not understand in the marketplace. She just fell down. Can you help her? She's barely breathing.
And midway through that sentence, Ricci's already run over, grabbed the medicine bag that still has a few holes in it from the time in the desert, and just rushes out past Sueno. And just makes his way down into Gen's bedroom.
And there you find her, ragged breathing, sweating profusely, chill to the touch, not looking great. That'll be a TN3 air medicine check.
Okay. That is 2 air and 4 medicine.
All right, Ricci, so how was your roll?
I got 3 successes, 1 strife, and 1 opportunity.
Okay. And how do you want to spend that opportunity?
So I saw something that would be a little interesting here. I would like to know something about the character who injured the person I am healing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With a air opportunity from scholar skills, you can definitely learn something about the item or kind of, in this case, the poison that was used against her and who might have used it. So we're going to let you know that Gen has the dying 1 week condition from the poison. You are not familiar with what it is, but you're pretty sure it's some sort of venom. And next is from the opportunity. The person that utilized this poison has the advantage of fights dirty. That this is definitely something that is used by someone who prefers not to engage in righteous combat, but to fight in a cowardly method to gain any advantage they can over somebody else.
Yeah, we in the Lion have a word for that. Cowardly.
Cowardly. There you go.
But okay, so time to find a way to at least stop that.
So while, like I said, you have an idea that it is some sort of venom, you're not sure what it is. Probably something local to this area, so you're a little out of your depth in this regard.
Okay. I'll turn to Sueno and say, did you see what happened?
Sueno shakes her head. No, Akoto-sama. We were following what seemed to be a Rokugani in the marketplace. Gen was trying to catch her. She was running away. And we were almost to her. She left through a shop, and then suddenly, Gen-sama, she fell down and was like this.
Okay. I fear she has been poisoned. And at which point I'll note where the scratch is at. And I'm not certain what type of poison it is. Something local, a venom of some sort. But I do not know specifics here. And unless I can find that out, I don't know if I'm able to properly care for her. I can try to slow it down. Maybe... I don't know if I can even excise the poison out of her system yet. I just need to know what it is.
Sueno looks appropriately horrified. But you're a great healer, Akoto-sama. Surely if anyone could cure her, it would be you.
I would like to think my skills are that strong, but I do not know. Poisons like this are the work of a coward, and I don't have a lot of experience with that. If she was cut, I could take care of that. If she had, an injury to the head, that's something I could look after. Venoms and poisons are a little bit beyond the expertise of a field medic.
But there are no Shiginja here.
No, there are not. There is someone that might be able to help. And she is not in any danger right now. If we were to leave her alone for an extended period of time, she would not pull through. Let me see what I can do and try to take care of this, slow it down a little bit. But I think we should go see Asil El Samra. He took care of me, and he's taken care of us as a whole this entire time. He might have some knowledge on this. So, at this point, I would like to go ahead and, if I need to, make a medicine check to try to stymie the poison with what I can. Although I understand that if I just don't have the materials or knowledge, there's not much I can do.
Sure, but you could at least attempt to stabilize your patient and make sure that some of the worst of the symptoms or whatnot aren't being suffered through. Yeah, so whether it's palliative care or comfort or whatever have you, yeah, you can at least do something there. So let's go ahead and call that, since, like I said, you're mostly trying to make them comfortable and making sure that it's not progressing any further or faster. Let's go with a TN2 water medicine check.
Alrighty. That's again the medicine of 4 and the water of 3.
All right, so how did that roll go for kind of stabilizing your patient?
Well, I got 3 successes, 2 strife, and 2 opportunities. And I have an idea for the opportunities, although it's a little bit more unorthodox for a water ring.
Well, let's hear it. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about ops; they can be narratively spent. It's not always just one way.
Definitely. So what I'm thinking is, I because it is a venom, and I want to go a little bit more, I guess, old school with it, but that's not really the right term. I want to go a little bit more medical with this one. I want to try to compress down some of the blood vessels to try to stop the flow of the venom from going everywhere, and then just kind of go on that same old thing of hey, let's just sweat it out. And so I want to give Jeanne the herbs that kind of do that thing of restricting the blood vessels and starts inducing almost a fever state, essentially.
Sure, in your kind of medical jargon of Rokugan, yeah, you would definitely try to restrict the body's flow of energy, slow it down, bring it into a more restful state of ki, definitely slow the all the progression, and to cause a sweat to expel that which is not supposed to be there. Yeah.
Oh, and definitely want to impose upon one of the servants nearby to constantly be bringing a wet towel to lay on Jeanne's forehead. Try to keep that temperature down where I could.
Oh, Sueno comes in and says, I can do that. I can care for her.
That will be excellent, but we want to make sure that she is also safe in this area. And anytime that I would prefer you not to leave her side if possible. And
as you kind of are talking with about the servants, Jamila and Rafi are there, and they seem to be discussing something, and finally Rafi says that he will do his best to provide you with some of the ice stores that they have available here. It's not much, especially because you're kind of going between autumn into winter right now. out here, and so there's not a lot of ice still collected, but there's still some for special meals or any of the emir's personal use if he just desires a cool drink, even at the height of the end of this season here.
I will note that we do want to keep her cool, but we don't want to keep her cold. So the ice will help keep things at least somewhat chill, but we don't need to be applying frozen towelettes to her. Again, we still want them cool. We still want her to sweat it out.
Of
but
course,
we don't want to
provide to the water to keep it chilled, but not enough to harm her. Of course.
Excellent. And also with that, if it matters any, I'm rank 4. Hey, Gen, why don't you heal up 4 fatigue for my Matsu medics or the kids? Sorry, not Matsu. The Kitsu medic school.
Well, if Gen hasn't gone down any more, then she is now at -12.
Well, that's a start.
It is a start. Yeah, she's probably suffering, I would imagine, also the exhausted. So yeah, it's not like she's resetting at the end of every scene at this point as her body's burning up and working extra hard. So yeah, that's a good start there. All right. So yeah, now that you've kind of got your patient stable, what's your next move there, Ricci?
And next move, let's go find the healer, Asil El Samra.
All right. Normally, again, you guys would be under a bit of how shall we say? Not quite house arrest, but honored guests. There's no reason for you to go, but at this point, they understand that one of your members is sick, possibly poisoned, and you just had a day out with the defender of the faith. You have a bit of clout and an emergency situation where the emir's guards decide to waive the kind of stipulations of your parole, as it were. So yeah, you head out in an attempt to find the alchemist. Rafi gives you some directions here, but it's still you haven't really wandered through the city, and it's getting on towards sunset. So let's go ahead and have you make a check to navigate through the city here as you are going through it kind of alone for the first time in this kind of situation.
All right. What are we saying we want that to be?
Yeah, for this, I'm thinking in a large city like that, you're probably looking at using commerce or skulldug to kind of navigate through it.
Okay.
So you have some directions. I just want to say that let's make it not necessarily hard, since you have directions. You're not going there just by someone said he's in this kind of relative area, but you actually have something written out for you to try to follow, even though it's in a different tongue and script than you're used to. Let's just go ahead and call the whole thing a TN2 commerce or skulldug check.
Which ring are you thinking?
Use.
I'm thinking possibly either fire for like just try to like to kind of theorize where things are at and just kind of figure things out, or even potentially void and just kind of letting not exactly common sense rule, but more of a just feel my way through the city in a time of need.
Okay. I do feel that fire is probably the least likely to get you to a specific location, so I would raise the TN of that to 3. but I think that void could be a TN of 2. Yeah.
Then I will use my Void of 3, and my Commerce of Skullduggery doesn't matter because they're both 0.
All right, Richie, how did your intuitive sense of opening yourself up to the void to kind of find the man you're looking for in a moment of need?
Well, it actually did help out. I got 2 successes, 2 strife, and an opportunity. Thankfully, I got to re-roll some of my dice thanks to my Paragon of Compassion, so that kind of kicked in there, and that was really nice.
Absolutely. When you're trying to save a life and you need to find someone, that drive, that overwhelming sense of duty can really help out there. Yeah.
So I definitely got the 2 successes. With the opportunity, because I'm kind of being guided along by the void, I think it'd be really nifty just to have some sort of omen or something just pop up, just be like, yep, that's the place.
All right. So what you kind of pick up as you're going along and you're trying to find someone who will help you prolong the life of a dear friend is the thing that kind of, when you get to the general area of where the alchemist will be at, is you notice a turtle, kind of a land tortoise out here in Alzawira, and you are instantly recognizing it as, to yourself in this situation, a favorable omen, as these are the havens of the fortunes, and they symbolize both good luck, longevity, and support. And this is how you're absolutely certain you're in the right spot. And the next thing you know, you kind of look up, and 2 houses down, there's the alchemists.
Oh, perfect. This is it. And then just head on over into the I guess alchemist house.
Yes. So you come up and knock at his door, and a servant comes to answer and says, "Master El Samra can see you if this is an emergency. Of course, come in."
And I'll head on in. Take off the sandals as appropriate.
Yeah.
And just follow the servant up.
And it's you come up and you see the old man is in the middle of a meal while looking over a series of texts kind of laid out around him as he sits cross-legged on the floor with one text to his left, another to his right, and one on a low table that he's kind of poring over as he eats right now. And he looks up as you come in and sets down his small meal, and he says, it's young Master Ichi. You are doing better, I hope?
I am. However, I have not come on business of my own. However, of my companion, Doji Gen.
Oh, don't tell me that someone has struck her or cut her as you were before.
Not so much. I feared she has been poisoned.
Well, normally I would jump right up and make my way to her aid, but after the Sultan had found out that I was treating you after I treated L5R, after your confrontation together, the Sultan, in his infinite wisdom, has seen fit to tell me that I am his physician, and I'm to look after he and his subjects, and not after the needs of violent foreigners.
Surely there's a way that we can make this work, though. Poisons are beyond me. I don't know much about them, nor how to counteract them. I can slow it down, but I can't stop it. I need your help on this one.
Why don't you go ahead and with that make me a maybe a water courtesy or a fire courtesy check to elicit a sense of need and to overwhelm his or override his orders and his duty to give you some sort of assistance here.
Okay. I'll go with fire on this one because water is more of the charming side, but I want to get him to help. So I'm going to go with my fire of 2 and my courtesy of 1. So that didn't work out so well. I have 1 success and 1 opportunity. And with that one, I think I'm just going to put 2 strife on him and just go ahead and try to start like imploring to his feelings and just, going in and being like, I don't know how to do poisons. You are the one that can help me out with this. She will die if she does not get treatment soon.
All right. Yeah, no, it definitely kind of makes it into a heated conversation. It rises up. Because I didn't give you a TN on this check, give yourself a void point for doing a blind check. And then, you know, he'll look at you like, kind of like as a disappointed father might, as he's kind of starts to get a little upset himself. And it's not as if I don't want to help. The prophet is told us that we must go and help those in need. Those are less fortunate than us, where we have the ability to make a difference in the world as a ordinary mortal, where that we can strive to do great things. And you think I took on this profession not to help people? How dare you? This is I just can't go against the Sultan's orders. You've seen what happens. L5R is already violent enough on his own. If he finds out that I'm helping you again against the Sultan's orders, I'll be the next to have my head gashed open by his blades.
But you're being held back from what you want to do by politics and just a overly boastful sense of loyalty to the one person who could literally care less about you. This is not what we got into this profession for. Again, you said, we here to save lives. Come help save another life.
It's not so easy, but perhaps there is something that we can do. And you see he's right on the verge. You just got to find a way to tip him over now.
Fine. If you want to do it that way, and you don't want to listen to the nameless prophet, I know something that everyone will listen to. And I just bring out this giant bag of the foreign coins I won earlier today. And just slap it down and be like, everyone listens to money around here. Help me save Jeanne. And that is an outburst.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that is an excellent way to do so. And
or an unmasking, sorry.
do you think that is, as far as things go, an inappropriate outburst, or a bend in your principles that Ricci is now turning to currency and money?
That's definitely a bending of principles. Yeah. Ricci uses currency in the form of a novelty to an extent. So the fact that this is legitimate and honest commerce, and it's almost like a dirty kind of commerce as well. As it's not even a commerce. This is a bribe. So it's 100% a bending of principles for Ricci.
Got it. All right. So for that, I'm going to have you forfeit honor equal to your honor rank.
Oh, that's 7.
Ooh. Okay.
I was at 71. I'm now at 64.
That means that you possibly have lost your compassionate advantage, your virtue.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no, the higher you are, the easier it is to fall, I suppose. Oof, that is rough. But with your bending principles and you throwing down the cash there, even Alsamra is moved by this. Yeah, if you want to make me your check there, I can go ahead and give you a narrative bonus to your next whatever you want to make it, whether it's a courtesy or a performance, depending on how over the top you want to be about this taking this bribe. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make me that check here?
I'll do courtesy.
Okay. And you think about still sticking in fire?
I think it's still fire because
Okay.
Richi's being guided more by his emotions than anything else.
And then I can tell you the TN, or I can give it to you blind again for a void point.
I'll take the TN.
You'll take the TN this time. All right. So the TN this time, with the reduction based on the unmasking, it is now a TN1 fire check.
Perfect. All right, I got one success.
You got one success. All right. So between the outburst, your bend-in principles, the bribe, Samara is like, fine. There's something that we can do. If I can't be there in person to administer to her, I can at least send you with as much knowledge and medicine as I can muster. And come now. And you now spend the next several hours studying at the side of this master alchemist as he starts to prepare a
Anti-venom.
an anti-venom of some sort. He calls it a balancing salve, something to what he calls the humors of the body that you take to mean to restore the balance of the elements within the body. You guys are using different terminologies to kind of get to similar ideas of things. And you are unfamiliar with most of what he's putting together, but you're following along as best you can. And soon after many hours, you guys are now a bit past midnight now. He provides you with this salve that he says to place at the site of her poisoning, and then to give her this draught alongside it to hopefully provide her some comfort, and that you might need to do this repeatedly over the next several days, and that you should find a way to come to him each night over the next several nights to, produce more of this salve and to replace the dressings on her wounds.
Okay, I can do that. That seems to be pretty straightforward.
It's the best I can do at this point. You have bought and paid for my services in the way that I can do them. I might not be able to treat her directly, but I feel that this is the most I can do within the letter of what the Sultan has ordered.
Okay.
It is both in our own off time. We will have to spend several thankless and wakeless nights taking this on.
Right. Again, thank you for this. This is more than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to go back now. But again, thank you.
Of course, and thank you for reminding me of why I do this and of the Himmel's Prophet's teachings. It's not always every day that someone not familiar with them can reach into the hearts of the pious and and teach them their own ways back at them. So I thank you for that, Ricci, for reminding me.
And I will give him a very deep bow, as one does a student to a sensei.
Excellent. He kind of tries to do it himself. He can't reach nearly your depths of bow, but to you that feels adequate. As he's not supposed to. You are the student who is to the teacher.
And then I will start making my way back to Jeanne.
All right. So you make your way back there, and it's not long. Now that you know the way, you've got a good sense of it. And again, it helps that the Sultan's palace is right in the middle of the city. You're able to find your way back there relatively easily. But now between all of the medicines and salves and draughts that he has given you here, you effectively have the use of an alchemy kit and of a balancing salve. So at this point, I think it's just a TN2 medicine air check to properly apply it to Gen and to hopefully start the healing process.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll that. That's medicine 4 and air 2 again.
There you go.
So I got 2 successes and an opportunity. And with the opportunity, I kind of want to learn more about a seal in this regard.
All right. Let's see. What would you learn here? Yeah, I think that you would pick up on a few things, but more so than not is how much he reminds you of Gid in certain respects. That he is well read. That from the books that he had and the things that he referenced, he makes use of knowledge from all different parts of the caliphate, from different countries and empires that have been absorbed into it, and that he seems to be a person who is learned but worldly in that regard, and reads as much as he can and picks up as much as he can from all corners of his world.
Excellent.
And so, yes, he has the well-read at fire advantage, scholar mental. I'll go ahead and make note of that for you. All right, so you alleviate her symptoms, and she suffers the unconscious condition, and she is in a deep, deep sleep. You cannot seem to raise her at this point, and you would imagine that in another situation, others might come in to find her like this, and would find her breathing so shallow to wonder if she is still alive at all.
At which point, I'll look over to Sueno and just say, we've done the best that we can. I think now we just gotta let the medicine do its work and just keep an eye on her to make sure that she's at least resting well and able to recover.
All right. Again, you are in a deep, deep level of sleep, where you were in this kind of fitful, unrestful place for several hours after hitting the ground in the marketplace. You finally seem to be resting now. Your body is calmer. It almost seems like you are rising up out of your own body, and kind of in an otherworldly place. And in this place, you hear what sounds like a group um, of judges at work, arguing cases and legal proceedings and precedents back and forth at each other uh, in a way that you are not quite sure. This is something fairly foreign to you, but after some time, you are able to kind of open your eyes and see that there are these gaunt, deathly figures, spectral images uh, of bearded foreigners who seem to be in some sort of, as I said, level of judgment and um, legal proceedings. You're not quite sure who they are or what they're speaking. It takes some time until finally one of them uh, is able to speak up and says, This one is not one of ours. This is one that the of our wayward children's uh, countrymen. Uh, the Rokugani. He says with kind of a bit of disdain. He says, "Yes, those who like Shinja who came before and stole our children from us." And it's like, well, then what is this one doing here if we are not to pass judgment on her? Bring us the Iron Book. Let us find out what we might be able to do with this one. And one of the other spectral judges goes and brings out this huge iron-bound tome, and they start flipping through pages. And now they're back to you arguing about who has jurisdiction over your body and soul, and your punishment for your misdeeds and the reward for your glorious actions.
I have not very much had much interest in my life on what the afterlife is supposed to be like. In fact, I have sort of studiously avoided all supernatural topics if I could avoid it. So I'm not prepared for this, but this is even weirder than I expected. Is there a do I see like other regular people there, or is it just these beings?
Um, there are other mortals nearby, although they are few in number. And to you, they look like some of the roughest and coarsest of the moto that you've ever met in your life.
Ah. So at this point, I think I'm going to try and look somewhat unassuming for the moment until they start saying something that looks like I might be able to argue a case that I shouldn't be here.
Well, like I said, they did bring out the Iron Book to figure out who has jurisdiction. They point out that you shouldn't be here, and that you perhaps are not meant to be judged by them, but they're now looking to see if there's a way that they can make a case that they can pass judgment on you. And some of them seem to be relishing that thought in the way that they get to seems to punish you for the sins of perhaps Shinjo Okami back in the
I'd
day.
rather not do that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's gonna be part of them. There seems to be another group within the judges that seems to not care one bit about you, and is like, this is not our concern. She's not one of ours. She's not one of our children. We, she's fallen into our judgment somehow, but we're not certain how. And even if we are to do so, who is how? Why should we bother? Yeah, and so that's kind of the two camps the judges seem to be in. But now they're gonna just argue, and you can kind of get the sense from the way some of the other members that are kind of congregated there, the like I said, these course moto, some of them kind of give a shrug and a look of it. It could be some time before they
uh,
finally figure things out. So yeah.
I'm going to try and argue my case. I'll step forward and bow to them respectfully and say, honored deities, uh, perhaps this is a decision that could be postponed?
Postponed till when? You would have us shirk our duty for all eternity?
No. You could just send me back now. I could go back to Rokugan and my own people's god of the dead, Emma O, could make the decision for you.
Some of them, the kind of the five in the camp of not seeming to care, is like, oh, if we could pass the buck and pass it on to MO, that'd be terrific. While those who wish to perhaps punish Sumro Kagani for sins committed hundreds of years ago are of the mind that MO is not the same as them. That he does not pass judgment in the same way, and he is not as interested in justice so much as he is in making sure the dead move from one life and forget. He's much more into forgetting than into restorative justice. They say, even though these judges seem to be mostly interested in retribution. And they start to argue a bit about back and forth until one of them says, "Wait, send her back. Is this one not dead yet?" And several of the others are like, she seems to be. I don't know why she would be in our court if she wasn't. Not that it hasn't happened before. Bring out the names of the dead, and they go through a whole nother ledger, and they start to try and look you up. Your name, girl.
My name is Doji Gen.
Gen. And they are going through this immense ledger, and they get through it once. Must have missed it, and they start to go through it a second time, and then a third. It gets passed around to another, and says, "Perhaps you are right. Perhaps it is not your time to receive justice. That there are still uh, there's still justice and crimes that you have not yet time to commit that you need to be judged for, and that now is not your time." Very well. You are not on ours in our ledgers yet, but you are far from home, and it kind of pans out a bit, and you see that you are in this um, gorge, this desert gorge, this very harsh landscape, uh, where a road snakes between the two cliffs of a steep canyon, and they point and they say, "You have this long road ahead of you before you return to the lands of Shenjo and those who have abandoned us, our children. Uh, you should bring back a message for the Ujik. Let them know that Sume still rides for their souls. You tell them this, and we might see that you are forgiven for any of your past misdeeds when it comes to assigning your crimes in the Iron Book."
Uh, Gen bows, and with all the sincerity that she can muster, she promises to do so. I will do so.
And with that, you are with kind of a slamming of their staffs on the floor, each of them in turn, all 10, with a double wrapping of it. They have adjourned this court, and your spirit or consciousness or soul is sent soaring back into your body, and your eyes in a weakened state, you flutter them open a bit, and you see Sueno and Ricci around you, and uh, you might be able to pass on a single sentence or few words to them before you go back under.
She will just give the slightest smile. It's very slight, and kind of look at Sueno and reach and say, "Not dead yet." before she slips back under.
I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/CourtGames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Riichi. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter, at ChurcherGames, or on Twitch, also as ChurcherGames. You can find the show on the web at CourtGamesPod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeanne, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.